Hello ghosties, I am the Ghost Rider and this is Paracon 2018. Wait, what? Cancelled?
Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, this year, Paracon Australia 2018 was cancelled. However, that did not mean that we could not have an incredibly awesome weekend instead. Now, it wasn't exactly what we were expecting, but we're paranormal investigators. We expect the unexpected. So Paracon 2018 was set to kick off at the quarantine station in North Head, Manly, New South Wales, Sydney, Australia, Down Under. We had Bill Chappell, Dr. Gemma Regan, Sharon Hill, Paul Cropper, Kerry Nelson, Beth Darlington, Amanda Howard, Malia Maglino, Karen Rontowski, but it wasn't meant to be. On the 13th of June, the plug was pulled and all of our paranormal dreams hit the ground. Or so it seemed. With guests still mid-air, in Bill's case at least, volleys, guests and local investigators pulled together to pick up the skirts of Paracon and shimmy it sideways to Wallachia in Western Sydney. So within the fences of the Wallachia Spiritual Development Centre, Inga, the owner of the Spiritual Development Centre, graciously offered her facilities and in some places her house for us to set up and have an event of our own. It actually soon became known as Paracan, and this is what we got.
Come along, sing Matilda with me.
Crazy.
Something the important verse. Alright, what it's all about. This is the haunted verse. I'll shove the swag, then it's drag into the billabong.
You'll never catch me alive, said he. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong.
Ghost noises. Come waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You'll come waltzing Matilda with me. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong.
You come waltzing Matilda with me. Spooks, snags, speeches in a setting that really just made the whole thing seem so damn Australian. To begin with, we had Beth Darlington talking about demonologists versus exorcists. She is one of the investigators in Australia that is really doing a fantastic job of actually looking at what we define as paranormal and how it kind of ties in with the religious things and like social beliefs and things like that. We then had a short break and Bill Chappell, who was quite possibly the saviour of the guests in the weekend, it was so fantastic, did a talk on ITC. Now ITC stands for Instrumental Transcommunication, which basically means communication through electronic instruments with spirits and things. We then adjourned for a snag and a bit of a chat, which was graciously put on by Pete from Appy Ghost Hunts and Tours. We brought all the snags. It was, I can't even remember how much it was for the sausages because we actually had a lot of the guests just handing us $5 notes, $10 notes. In one case a $50 note just saying, hey, keep the change, it's all a donation. So it was really, really cool to see the Aussie paranormal spirit was still alive. That's really ironic. After lunch we then had Inga, who again was the owner of the Wallachia Spiritual Development Centre, give a really, really interesting talk on physical mediumship and some of the experiences that she's had working with physical mediums. It's actually something that's got a little bit of controversy in it, but it doesn't mean that it's dead. Don't knock it till you tried it. By far the feather in the cap of the day was the paranormal investigation at Berrima Courthouse, which was put on by Appy Ghost Hunts and Tours for all of the people that had bought tickets to the nighttime investigation event with Bill Chappell. I should probably take a moment to say that all of the events that were put on that weekend were all for free. If you bought a ticket to Paracon 2018, then you had free entry to the Spiritual Development Centre, you could attend all of the talks, and if you had a ticket to the nighttime investigation, then you automatically had a ticket for the investigation at Berrima Courthouse. In fact, I think there were a few people who had donated to the Sausage Sizzle that we ended up giving tickets to the investigation because they were just so nice. So at the courthouse, Anne, Renata and Bill did their own vigils. We were also joined by Dan McMath from Ghost, otherwise known as Ghost Hunters of the Outer South Coast and Territories. That's it, I'm sorry Dan. And he had a pretty interesting experiment going that involved bells, a rod and glow-in-the-dark silly putty. But the guests had an absolute blast. The courthouse put on a really good show. There was some really interesting activity, and basically it was a day that just kind of showed that there was very few things that could crush an Australian spirit. Get it? Spirit. So of course a huge thank you goes out to the three ladies that spearheaded the entire weekend. Anne from Oz Paratech, Pete Banks from Appy Ghost Hunts and Tours, and Renata Daniels from Newcastle Ghost Tours. They were planning, running around like headless chickens, fielding questions, answering queries, pointing people in the right direction, just trying to get the word out that there was something going on in lieu, I guess, of Paracon. I mean, it wasn't exactly the same, but it damn well did the job. So I'm going to pop the links below to each of the three teams that we mentioned, in case you guys are ever interested in checking them out. Anne and Roman from Oz Paratech do paranormal investigations at the Q station. I think they do them about once a month or so. Renata from Newcastle Ghost Tours has a host of different locations up in Newcastle. She has a really nice spiritual spin on things. I've never ever seen a table move as well as it does when she's at it. Except maybe when Anne's with it too. I can never get tables to work. Table tipping just doesn't like me. And of course, Appy Ghost Hunts and Tours, my own team. I love you guys. It was so great to actually bring some strange guests, some fresh blood into the courthouse and show them just how magical this location could be. So, just a few quick announcements. I know that I have been pretty on and off with my uploading of videos, and now I've got things planned out. I've got some really awesome things up my sleeve for you guys. So from now on you can expect a brand new video up every Friday. So this is AEST because I'm in Sydney, Australia. Every Friday night I am going to be uploading a new video. Also, if you haven't yet, you should check me out on Twitter. I'm pretty much addicted to the damn thing now. So if you haven't followed me on Twitter, I'll put the links down below. You can follow me at Ghost Rider Oz, or as always, check out my Facebook page, and I'm gonna have a whole heap of photos up from the weekend, as well as some of the photos that I take on location whilst I'm investigating. So until next time, stay spooky.